We are working under specific ethics, but known to be patriotic, known to be whatever partisan, known to be politicians. When someone urinates there, it is what I write. He urinated. So long as I don't intervene in the security of this country, there is a full article in the constitution of this country protecting us. We have a Truthless Media Council that takes concern of registering us instead of fighting for us. People die. Afanda, you no longer play sex. That's important. I'm telling you, I have a child. My wife is good. She's a 26-year-old girl. Put it on TV. My father-in-law is in Kawempe. He shouldn't know. I no longer play sex. I was beaten by people who are supposed to protect us. What's wrong when a LDU comes and I present my ID humbly and I tell you I'm a journalist, kindly, don't beat me. I was made to clean a road at YC because, you know, people were rioting. I presented my ID. You are in a press jacket. You are battered by, you know, those black inhuman beings in our uniforms we pay for. For sure, we love you so much. We love this force. But one thing, we are tired. Fellow journalists, we did not get an apology from our officer. Let us walk away for once and for all. We shall come back. Let's stand in solidarity and we go. We are beaten. I couldn't provide for my child. I'm a freelance journalist. Let us walk away. Pick your cameras and walk. We shall come back tomorrow. Let them reorganize. We shall come back.
Let us go. This must stop. This must stop. This must stop.
Let us remember. Let us go. And when the cover, we shall tell the public, boycott your fucking TV.
Those who are civil and who are
When I was beaten, the police, the officers, at large, they are there. They are eating our taxpayers' money. We cannot.
let's walk away.
If you are a journalist, you have to fight for. We cannot tolerate it.
Let's walk away.
Abantu bali mu bakwate. Katugende tujja kujja nga mutuyise nga mubakutte nga tulange n'olwatulaga. I respect you so much. Afande, it is too much. It is too much, Afande. It is too much. It is too much.
Why don't you arrest me? Why do you shoot him?
Afande, nze mama wange pressure zone. Let's stand strong.
Why do you
Together.
We shall come back tomorrow.
We need to be fairly treated this time.
They open the gate for us. Then the guys, let's go. Our friends are journalists. Others are moving in.
We shall listen to that apology tomorrow.
We shall look for you.
No, I think this has been the right time for people to come out. And as journalists, I've always dreamed of a day like this, where I can see us coming together, uniting with one voice and demanding that whatever happens to one journalist happens to all of us. Today, our message has been sent that it is either they agree to work with us or we shall not work with them. As simple as that. So we shall demand for reports. Like I've said, we need dialogue. We need to have the government side or the security forces on one side and us on the other side to find out where have we gone wrong. How can we come back to work harmoniously? Because of course, you know, the government pressure and everything cannot be good to us. You understand? So yeah, that's like what's up, basically. So we need to dialogue to find a common ground, and today has been a stepping stone. We hope they are going to go back, then invite our leaders to discuss what is the best way forward. And I'm calling on all journalists out there, if nothing changes, we should boycott totally. Especially our editors. It is time that we made our voice heard and we boycott if nothing is changed. Yeah.
Security officers, boss wabwe abadde wano netogana naye mu mirembe ne mugamba ssebo tuli bannamawulire, we are not dangerous, tetuli ba activists. Naye engeri gy'ayogedde ng'alinga protecting aba security officers nti bagende mu maaso batukube. Kyenkuddemu agambye nti tuli ba activists, mbu tetuli professionals, we are unprofessionals. Naye nze nga kyemanyi ffe tulina partisan, tujja si ba journalists. Ffe gwe batusindika kwe tukola. Batugamba mugende mu covering muzeeyi tugenda. Bwe bagamba mugende wa Bobby tugenda, bagamba mugende wa Muriati tugenda. Kubanga ffe, we are here to serve the what? The nation. Naye okuvayo n'agamba nti tuli partisan, tuli ba activists. Nedda tekiriyo. Tubadde tukyayagala naye tunegotiatinge, tulabe going forward tunaakola tutya. Tugenza olaba amagye gonna bagayi abasirikale batwetoolodde ne kavaani kali akatera ku arrestinga abantu kayingiddewo. Kati tugenda kwatagana tutya? Nga bwe bati we batuyisa. Batugambe nti fannamawulire tukyalina wakola tudde mu kyalo tulime. Simple. Naye nga ffe tulibedde okola nabo tuleete emirembe. Simple. Nzadde mali muhaye ndi munnamawulire.
A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for watching Record TV. My name is Peace Nobami, and right about now I am standing at the Uganda Media Center, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance. We had come to cover the 40th anniversary of the army, but what just happened, journalists are very unsatisfied with what police and other forces are doing, the security forces are doing to the journalists of Uganda. Very many people have been battered, killed and shot at in very, very compromising situations. Looking behind me, very many journalists from different media houses have refused to actually cover this event of the 40th anniversary, alleging that these people that they are covering right about now are not doing anything to protect them, and yet they are the same people that come out to call them to cover these events. Now, journalists are outside. If my camera person can show you around, they are outside. They have refused to cover the event. Now police has been deployed, different cars have come, and border borders, as you can see, they are here to, I don't know, to do what, because journalists are here with a lot of grief, sadness and grieving because of their loved ones. People have died in situations that are so, and people, when police ask people to do something about them, they just decide to say we are going to make a statement. Investigations are still ongoing, but they never do anything to act upon this act. Journalists are saying being a journalist is not a crime, and they are therefore advocating for their rights as a journalist, as journalists as a whole, to be heard.
twayogedde naye netumugamba nti ye mugere gyali munene ayogereko naye banne balekerawo okutukula naye engeri gyazeemu abadde nga naye bye ebigambo byayogedde biri ife bannamawulire nze
How can I use my camera?
How can I use my camera?
Yeah.
We meant shooting pictures, not Mula was camera mubera mu amasasi afande. Kamera zibera mu amasasi.
naye kirungi okulaba nti because bulijjo bino ffe tusinga okwagala nti abamawulire bwe babanyigiriza ate ffe ne tusigala nga tugenda tekikola makulu kati kirungi nnyo okulaba nga ate muvuddeyo ne mugamba nti press conference tejja kgenda mu maaso nga tebatuwadde apology nga teba issuinze statement na assurances zituwa kulaba nti omulimu guno tusobola okusigala nga tukola ki nga tugenda mu maaso so aspirational naye nze for some time now tubadde tukoolinga nti lwakwekala obuzibu era nga bwe tuyina nti ekibiina ekitutwala kyafa bo bali eyo balya ssente kati osobola osanga gavumenti egamba eyogera nabo naye nga tebalina mbeera gye bakola ki gye bateekawo eno bamawulire so twetaaga nnyo dialogue wakati wa gavumenti n'abamawulire ku bintu bingi nnyo and we hope kino ekibaddewo egenda kubeera lesson eri abantu abali mu gavumenti nti it is time to treat abamawulire better and it's time for dialogue baveeyo boogere ebibaluma vis-a-vis naffe ebituluma to reaching a common goal okulaba ate ffenna bwe tusobola okubeera nga we can coexist abali kasuku oyagala njogere mu luzungu
batukuba mwanyinaze sikyazanya mu bankuba basajjabo batukuba ate no batongerezako ebigambo tukube tulowooze nti okoze mistake but collateral damage has okitegeera mwatugamba identify nga tukikoze mutugambye ebintu byonna mutugambye okugenda
we want to see officers battering journalists penalized.
Maybe they don't need us anymore.
Makena was beaten.
This is our job.
At CBS there is one journalist who was beaten.
Anyway, very good. What should we do? We respect you, Afandis, but at least for once, let's do this in solidarity. We know we haven't gotten the story, but at least for today. Thank you.
tebakyatwetaaga katulekere awo okukola ab'ebyokwerinda tugende ku ddwaliro twale ne muganda waffe temugendera awo tugende twale kwasira ku freedom of press.
In a very painful way, like our colleagues are also going through a very painful period right now. We have decided to walk away. We give them space so that they can either rest or release a report about what happened yesterday. What hurts us, some of us have been covering state functions, but the moment you cover the opposition, because that's what we are supposed to be doing. The moment you cover opposition, then you become a bad journalist. The moment you cover the ruling government, then you're a very good journalist. Actually, they even cherish you. So, what should we do in this country? We love our country, but we can't work under such conditions. The Media Council is only looking at stealing from us the 200,000 that they want us to register. But they can't even come out to protect us. The association that would have helped us, UJA, was infiltrated. So where should we run from? At least let's run to ourselves. Thank you.
I am Major General Henry Masiko, the Chief Political Commissar of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, and I'm particularly here wearing the hat of the Chief of Defense Forces, who would have loved to address this subject himself, but due to other pressing matters, he regrettably couldn't make it, but he sends his warm greetings and in advance is wishing all of us a happy New Year 2021. This year, into next year, the Uganda People's Defense Forces will be celebrating 40 years since it was founded. And we are celebrating this unique event under the theme celebrating UPDF at 40 years, fruits of a fulfilled partnership of maintaining and consolidating people's security, stability, and prosperity. As you can see on that banner, that is the theme under which we shall mark this event. Friends, this is an annual event celebrated by Ugandans in general and UPDF in particular, commemorating the 6th of February 1981. That's what is in Kiswahili referred to as Tarehe Sita. 40 years ago, on 5th February 1981, a few patriots started a journey that took them through the region of Greater Masaka and on to attacking Kabamba Barracks. This marked the commencement of a determined resistance in the form of a popular and protracted struggle by the people against dictatorial regimes. Tarehe Sita celebrations mark and recognize heroism, gallantry exhibited by the few young Ugandans who made the foundation upon which UPDF rests today as a people's force and a vanguard force in the struggle to achieve socio-economic transformation. This year, the main activities will be conducted in Greater Masaka. And Greater Masaka is identified because of its significance. One, earlier on in the 70s, we had anti-Amin struggles. 1972-73, there was a confrontation between Idi Amin's army and forces which were fighting to restore sanity, and those main activities occurred in Masaka area. In 1978-79, the war which involved the Tanzania People's Defense Forces working with some Ugandan groups like Chikosi Maalum and Fronasa were mainly conducted their activities through Masaka axis. However, directly linked to Tarehe Sita, Greater Masaka was the corridor through which the few patriots under the leadership of then young Yoweri Kaguta Museveni traversed to attack Kabamba barracks. In this regard, Greater Masaka qualifies to be the launch pad for Tarehe Sita. Those of you who may not know our recent history, in the final stages of the protracted People's War in 1985, Greater Masaka became home of the final decisive battles such as the siege of Masaka Barracks, the Rwengo operations, and the famous Katonga battles that culminated in the defeat of the Uganda National Liberation Army along the Allied forces before Kampala fell on 26 January 1986. Had not held these events in this particular region. We've been holding these events on a rotational basis, and most regions have hosted this. Now, what do we do when we are celebrating Tarehe Sita? We carry out what we call civil-military cooperation activities. All armies hold this function of civil-military cooperation as an important ingredient of operations of the military. So, in this year particularly, the Department of Political Commissariat and our major department of civil-military cooperation will spearhead mobilization and activities with the population which will take cognizance of the circumstances under which we are operating of the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, and also the uniqueness of our 40th anniversary being a significant period the Army has journeyed. We shall, on top of Greater Masaka, do also some activities in the capital city, which is Kampala, so there will be limited symbolic civil-military cooperation activities also in the city. What shall we be focusing on? The forces of recognizing that we cannot do activities which involve a lot of crowding are interested in carrying out home-to-home and closer community operations like public health areas where we shall get involved in sanitization, fumigation, and general cleaning. However, this particular year, in conjunction with the National Forest Authority, the forces are targeting to plant more than 5 million trees as a way of recognizing the contemporary and topical issue of climate change. Our forces have been mobilized. They will operate wherever they are, but particularly the areas where we are going to focus during this period of observing our 40 years to ensure we contribute to the agenda of mitigating climate change activity problems. In this, we look forward to working closely with different sectors of the population, especially the young people. We look at opportunities for them to invest in the green industry. As the Army, our business arm, the National Enterprise Corporation, we have already a plan to go in that direction, and we hope through our civil-military cooperation activities during this period, our youth, our young people, can benefit from what NEC is already putting in place. I want to use this opportunity, friends, to announce that as routine, our own departments shall engage in some renovation activities, some public and community-related activities have been identified, and our engineers are already in the field, and they are going to conduct several renovation activities in different constituencies where we shall be. The details are available, but on the whole, we have the following activities. Starting, the Command-in-Chief will officially launch the beginning of these 40 years anniversary activities, and he will do it at Katonga, where the Army is going to set up a historic National Military Museum, and tomorrow His Excellency will lay a foundation stone for the construction of the first ever National Military Museum in our country. Our engineers who are already in the field are going to do work in Masaka City, in Masaka District, in Karungu District, in Bukomansimbi District, in Rwengo District, Karangara District, the municipalities of Shira and Nansana in Wakiso, and works in the Kampala City, Capital City Authority. And particularly in Kampala Capital City Authority, we are already closely working with KCCA authorities. Our doctors equally are going to be in the field, and in the Masaka area, they will be engaging in surgical camps. They have identified these camps to be held in all constituencies of the 5 districts in which we are going to operate. Other programs which we are going to observe this week, our military leaders shall visit the districts, and on 30th, we shall have a major launch of the activities at Masaka City, and here the people will be informed and also sensitized about what will take place during this period. On 31st, in all the districts where we are going to operate, also our military leaders with some of the political leaders will launch the activities at the district headquarters, signaling the beginning of our forces to be out to work with the communities. So this Terehesita is not going to be like the normal ones we have, because in the past we would do activities which end on 6th of February, but for the 40th anniversary, we want to conduct a year-long activities in the areas I have already mentioned about. One other consideration, given the times we are in, is that this will be an opportunity for UPDF to closely link up with the population in consolidating what we call foundation security, because we think people must participate in their own safety, like we have been enforcing Ministry of Health, enforcing the Uganda Police, reinforcing the Uganda Police in ensuring that our people keep safe from the COVID-19. We also, in the same spirit, think during this period where we are holding a unique election under the threat of the pandemic, the closer we are with the population, the better we can consolidate their own involvement in keeping safe, in avoiding cases that may lead to some uncalled for confrontation and so on.